Hello all, myself Dr. Eva Rani. Today I'll discuss about the dividend policy. So first, what do you mean by dividend policy? So dividend policy is the decision which involves the choices between distributing the profits belonging to the shareholders and their retention by the firm. It means that if the company has earned this financial year, for example, 10 lakhs. So company has to decide these 10 lakh rupees the company will retain with themselves or they will distribute to their shareholders. So they will decide that how much percentage of profit company is going to give to their shareholders. That is only known as the dividend. So for example, the company has decided that 10% of the profit I am going to distribute among my shareholders. So out of 10 lakh multiplied by 10 by 100, so 1 lakh rupees the company is going to pay to their shareholders. So dividend policy will help the management to decide what should be the percentage of profit company is going to pay to their shareholders. And the relationship between dividend and the value of firm should be the decision criteria. Now, there are different types of decisions theory is there. Now, how the company will decide what should be the percentage of dividend? Is it 10%? It should be 20% or 100% the company has to pay to their shareholders. So there are two theories are there related to the dividend decision. One is relevant theory, other theory talks about the irrelevant theory. So under the relevant theory, there are two theories are there, two models are there. The first one is Walter model and the second one is the Gordon model. Under the irrelevant theory, we have Modigliani and Miller approach here. So now what is relevant and irrelevance theory? So they have the management and the companies are having the conflicting opinion regarding the impact of dividend on the value of a firm. So if the company is paying 10% or 20% of their percentage of profit to the shareholders, will it impact to the value of the firm or not? That is talks about these two theories. When you talks about irrelevance theory, it means that as per this irrelevance theory, dividends are irrelevant. It means that the amount of dividend paid to the shareholders will not impact the value of the firm. If the company is paying 10%, 20% or 100% profit to their shareholders, it will not impact the value of the firm. Those theories are known as comes under the irrelevance theory. Means there is a no relevance of dividend in terms of valuation of firm. The other theories which talks about which is known as relevance theory, it means that as per this theory, dividends are playing a major role when you are calculating the value of the firm. So the value of the firm is measured in terms of the market price of the shares. How the value of the firm will be calculated? It is calculated as market price per share multiplied by the number of outstanding shareholders here. We can calculate it here. So now when you talks about relevant theory supports that the value of the firm will be impacted because of the changes in the percentage of dividend. That is known as relevance theory. Now, there are two theories are coming under the relevance theory. The first one is Walter's model. So in this, I will be discuss about the Walter's model and I will support this theory with one example so that you can see that if there is any changes in the dividend, how it will impact the market price of per share. If the market price is getting impacted, the value of the share firm also is getting impacted. So the Walter model, it is known as because it has been developed by Walter. That's why this theory or this model is known as Walter's model theory here. Here this model, Walter model, supports the doctrine that dividends are relevant in nature. Relevant means changes in the dividend will impact the market price per share and ultimately the value of the firm. As per this theory, the investment policy of a firm cannot be separated from its dividend policy. Both are connected to each other, both are interlinked to each other. So, Walter's model explains the relationship between the return on a firm's investment and its minimum required rate of return from the investment here. So the formula of Walter's model is P denotes P is the market price per share, which will be calculated as D, which is dividend per share, plus R by KE. R talks about the rate of return on investment of firm, divided by KE talks about the cost of equity capital, which is multiplied by with the E minus D. E is earning per share, D is dividend per share, and divided by the cost of equity capital. Here minimum rate of return means whenever the company is investing in some of the project, they require minimum return of from that investment. That is here known as the small r. Cost of equity capital means cost is incurred when the company is raising fund from the equity shareholders. That is known as KE is known as the cost of equity capital. So this is the formula you have to remember when we are calculating the Walters model. This is the formula. This way you can calculate the market price per share based on the Walters model. Now there are two terms are coming. One is the R, which is the required rate of return, and KE is known as the cost of equity capital. Now, if the value of R means required rate of return is greater than the cost of equity capital, then what should be the dividend policy? Here 0% dividend increases. It means whenever the company is having R is greater than KE, it means that company should retain all the profit with themselves. It means they have to retain all earnings with them. If 100% they are retaining with themselves, means there are 0% of dividend. What type of firm it will be considered as? In this condition, the firm which are having the R is greater than KE, the firm is known as growth firm. And if the required rate of return is less than KE, means the company should distribute all their earnings as a dividend to their shareholders. It means that company doesn't have any visions to what to do with their profit. So what they will do, they should distribute these profits to their shareholders. This type of firm is known as declining firm. And if R is equal to K, it means that the dividend is irrelevant in nature. There is no impact if there is a change, company is paying 50% of their profit or 100% of their profit, it will not impact the market price per share. It is considered as normal firm. Now we have learned about what is Walters model and how to calculate the market price per share based on Walters model. So for example, here one questions I have given you based on the Walters model. Here some Sunrise Industries Limited has a capitalization rate of 12%, earning per share is 20 rupees 25, and the company declares a dividend of rupees 8 per share. So you are required to calculate the market price per share assuming that the company's return on investment. So return on investment is your small r, which will be the 15%. Now we will understand this answer how to calculate the market price of the per share. Now first we will write it whatever they have given in the questions. So here earning per share in the questions they have given it is 25 rupees per share. company has declared the dividend 8 rupees per share. Return on investment is 15%. Means the minimum return they require from that investment is 15%. So 15 by 100, which will give you 0.15. Cost of equity capital is 12%, which is 12 by 100, so it is 0.12. Now we will put this value in the formula how to calculate the market price per share as per the Walters model. So P is equal to D plus R by KE multiplied by E minus D division of cost of equity capital. So here 8 rupees is dividend per share plus a return on investment is 0.15, cost of equity capital is 0.12, which should be multiplied by the earning per share is 25, dividend per share is 8 rupees per share. So 25 minus 8 divided by the cost of equity capital, which is 0.12. So based on that, once you will do the calculation, the price per share is 243.75 rupees. The price per share is that. So thank you so much. In this session, we have understood the concept of dividend policy and relevance theory and irrelevance theory of dividend policy and Walters model, the formula of Walters model, and how to calculate the market price per share based on the Walter model. So thank you so much. Bye bye.